Hello, everybody. I know it's been a while, hasn't it? Things have been going pretty steady for me. The usual stuff, physical. I just turned 74 on the 7th of September, a few days ago. And boy, I tell you, the closer I get to that big 80, I'm feeling it. We go through life and we have so many ups and downs. The wife and I are in the process of selling this place. We're preparing our home to sell, and we're going to get into something smaller, more sustainable for us. And I've been going to. I'm a Christian, of course, and I've been going to church pretty much all my life. And I've never been so. I guess the word is interrupted or confused, bewildered. We put our house of faith someplace that we can go and share our lives and souls and pray to our Heavenly Father and be with our friends, our church family. I've been a member of this church here since 1979. It's a small community and it's not a very big church. We, of course, churches all over the country anymore have issues with attendance. The day of the computer and everything, people can go to church online, they can go to church on television and on their computers and everything. So the churches themselves, the attendance aren't the same as they used to be, especially with the youth. The youth are kind of missing. We do have them, our youth. We do have the families structure still that bring their kids and stuff, but not like it used to be. And things have kind of fallen by the wayside as far as communications with families and children and stuff like that. But that's one thing. If you look at the issues of the churches, and they pretty much all have the same thing, especially churches that have been around. They're older churches. Their buildings need updatings and maintenance and all these things. And we, as churchgoers, understand this. And that's why they hand the basket around for donations to help keep our lights on in our church. And in our church, we also have a maintenance fund that we put money into weekly. Well, maybe not weekly. I think the maintenance basket comes around every 1 to 2 times a month, I believe. But then all of a sudden, they start asking for more. You see, what happens is the fewer people that come to church, the less money that they're taking in to help support these things. And most parishes, most churches have people willing to help pay for structural maintenance and stuff like that. And that's not the issue that people have. The issue is all the way around, everybody's been getting pinched. Food's higher, gas is higher. Buying a home is really hard for the younger generation. I mean, it's not like it was when I was young. My first house I paid, it was a 4-bedroom on a third of an acre, and I paid $28,500 for it. The house I purchased was 12 years old. Near schools, near shopping centers. I mean, it had everything. I sold it for a heck of a lot more than I paid for it. But what I'm getting at is today, our generations don't have that. So it's hard for the younger generation to come to church with their families, with their kids, their children, that they can barely support. And both the wife and the husband have to work. They don't spend as much time together. Things go south, family breaks up. And here we go. All of a sudden, you don't see these families in church anymore. Why? And then the church comes along and says, oh, we're going to have this celebration. It's for God. And it's going to cost about $85,000 when our roof is leaking. Oh, we'll go into debt for that. We'll go into debt for the roof, so we have to keep paying. But by golly, we're going to get you guys to help us pay for this party we're going to have. It's for God. So where do we draw the line? At our church, this situation has divided us like I've never seen it divided before. And we've complained, we've talked to the higher ups, to the minister, and they don't care. They've got a $1.5 million agenda, and they're going for it. And the thing is, we ask for accountability. Well, where is it? Dollars and cents. Where's the money going? You know, who's spending it? Who's using the credit cards? How many investments do we have? I mean, all these questions are out there. Nobody wants to answer. Not when they're in the middle of taking and using our leaky roof and leaving us in debt for that. And then bringing in Italian marble for the altar and all this stuff. We don't need when our roof is leaking. We have $400,000 worth of needs for our structure at our church, and they're spending money like this. And then they wonder why our church is divided and why people are pissed off. I've never heard so many complaints. And then when you do speak out, like I have, several others, they throw us under the bus. Oh, you're trying to destroy, you're interrupting God's work. And da, da, da. We go to our ministers' bosses and the higher ups. They're all too busy with their own legal problems that have cost us billions. And then they wonder why people aren't coming to church. As a retired businessman, I think shameful. My accountant would be kicking my butt. But I guess when it's not your money. God help us. Thanks, guys.